you ready, MC?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Episode 1 of Chip.
Hello and welcome back to the How I Ripped Off Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast. Yeah, I've been waiting such a long time to say that. It feels like years since season 3 of Tomuarigassen finished. But MC, we are not here with Tomuarigassen today.
What's going on?
Oh my god! Well, if you remember, I just banged my knee on the desk. I'm so excited. At the end of season 3 of Tomuarigassen, after they beat Mr Johnson on the White Cliffs of Dover, Chip had told MC about his heart magnet and his evil switch, and but basically said if it all went well and MC didn't have to kill Chip didn't go evil, the world was saved, that Chip would be leaving the game forever. And he's done that right into his own spin-off, imaginatively called Chip.
How did he come up with that?
Oh, this was me living out my angel fantasies.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%. We've kind of mapped the similarities between Chip and Angel as we've gone along.
Yeah.
And we've reached that point where he's actually got his own spin-off now that for some reason, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't give it a title. A good title.
Yeah.
Like Tomuarigassen, which is rubbish, but, you know, it has a funny thing about it, about how I thought that was
MC the Vampire Slayer.
It is now. But yeah, I decided I was going to write my own spin-off, starring me. And we are going to be uploading twice a week.
Oh my god.
So Mondays are going to be Chip Day.
Yeah.
Thursday will be Tomuarigassen, MC and the rest of the gang.
Every day is Chip Day.
I mean, is he going to heroically sacrifice himself in his own series?
Is somebody else going to try do it? And he'll be like, no, that's my job, fuck off. Well,
I imagine he'll follow a lot of the Angel arcs. I think we said it at the end of the last Sonic episode about how this is basically how I ripped off Angel now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how much shit I rip off, because I think it's going to be quite a lot. And Chip's going to be all broody and on his own and living in a different part of the world.
Find and replace Angel scripts, Chip with Angel.
Well, let's get into what would be the pilot, I guess, episode.
I'm sure it'll get picked up by Fox or whatever.
It's Chip, Episode 1, Companionship. A dark shadow appeared on the sidewalk, getting bigger as the figure put distance between himself and the glowing light of the lamppost. Was he running away from a lamppost? Dramatic start.
Chip's new enemy. A lamppost.
His thigh-length black coat whistled in the wind and whipped against his body. His hood covered his face, and he was carrying a sports bag in his right hand and striding forwards with certain purpose.
Which other character has a thigh-length black coat?
I think they all do, don't they? True. Everyone.
You did have a thigh-length black coat that you bought from the internet. It looked shit.
Oh man, that was longer. That was a proper duster. That went down to like the back of my ankles.
Regardless, it was shit.
It was really impractical as well because it was so thin.
It was really thin and it was shit. Yeah. That was why it was shit.
I loved
this
it.
Sort of cheap, crappy material. I think you got for like 20 quid off some goth clothing website.
Do you know what? I actually think I got it from Hot Topic.
Really?
I think I did. I think it cost more than 20 quid. I think I paid money for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, I was really happy with it. Don't worry.
Okay.
The lights dimmed as his journey took him further away from the busy streets. He was now walking down the well-known back streets, a place normal folk didn't dare go. They much preferred their central heated homes, sitcoms accompanied by the laughter track so as people knew exactly where and when to laugh, and fast food that at such a low price couldn't possibly be bad for you.
Fucking George Carlin over here. Bam! Take that, society.
Oh, definitely reached that cynical...
Fast food is bad.
Oh, you want your home
heating.
To be warm?
Yeah. God. It's soft.
You never had to live on the streets and fight vampires, God. My coat only goes down to my thigh. So just as a side note, I think by the time I got here, I must have been about 16, maybe even close to 17.
Okay.
So I'm not saying the writing will get better. That's not a stance I'm willing to take.
Fewer typos.
Yeah, possibly.
Disappointingly.
But also, I think this kind of like cynical, slightly... I don't want to say darker, edgier, but, you know, attempts.
Trying to be,
it might just read like a bad blog at this point.
I think
so,
it will.
yay, that's something to look forward to.
I'm so sorry you have to live through like your teenage self again.
I'm going to miss Series 1 of Tomuarigassen, aren't I?
It was so innocent and dumb.
He wasn't one of these people. He was someone else. Someone that had a job to do, if not a purpose. What?
Cool.
The warehouse he was looking for came into view as he turned another black corner.
I wasn't sure if that was a typo or not.
I think because he's got so far away from that lamppost.
It's gaining on him. Run faster.
Despite having only lived in the area for a short period of time, he knew that not even the tough gangs of these streets would come this far out of their territory. Not necessarily because they were scared, but mainly because only a few knew these sorts of places existed.
These notorious streets of war. Do these tough gangs have planks of wood and
wardrobes?
Closets, yeah.
No, the notorious streets of war wouldn't dare come to this undiscovered back street, apparently. He broke into a sprint now, covering the ground quickly, trying not to make a sound as his feet barely touched the concrete below them.
Sorry. Our first typo of Chip.
What? I missed that? What?
Not barely. It says barley.
Oh, his feet are barley.
Yeah, a type of grain.
Well, this is why no one goes down this street. There's no concrete there. It's just grain. He broke into a sprint now, covering the ground quickly, trying not to make a sound as his feet barely touched the concrete below them. He pushed himself tightly against the warehouse wall, using his good vision to make show the coast was clear.
Would this be ninja vision by any chance?
I wonder. But also a second typo there as well. Make show the coast was clear. He's going to put on a little
Make a
act.
show. Do you think his feet are made of barley? Is that what it is? His feet barley?
It'd be really inconvenient, wouldn't it?
It would.
Especially if you're putting on a show. At a time like this, he didn't want any distractions. After a short pause, he reached for the large handle on the warehouse door and yanked it open. As the light from the inside spilled out, it revealed demons. Dozens of them. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head.
I was going to say that.
Big ones, small ones. Demons with skin, demons with skin? Demons with skin, demons with fur, most with long sharp teeth and all claws. They all stopped what they were doing and addressed the unwelcome stranger who was standing in their doorway.
Who the hell are you?
One growled. He dropped a now unzipped sports bag to the floor and reached for the first weapon that came to hand, which just happened to be 2 size.
Signature weapons.
The demon stared, knowing that this stranger was here not only to interrupt their meal of 4 humans, but for a fight. At least they didn't have fast food. He would have been much angrier then.
And this warehouse better not be centrally heated.
They all took up defensive positions and surrounded him. Me? I'm the thing you guys have nightmares about. Chip pushed his hood away from his face and examined the demons. Without giving them a moment to think, Chip leapt forwards. The fight was on.
He's so cool with his big coat and stuff about nightmares and
yeah, the demons have nightmares about Chip.
Yes.
And having to read this. Be involved in it. And this is where we get into Chip episode 1. For proper, that was a little...
Ooh, an introduction.
Yeah, that was nice. Limping, Chip picked up his bag and closed the warehouse doors. The corpses of dozens of dead demons littered the floor of the warehouse, leaving Chip no option but to destroy the evidence. He often wondered what would happen if the average Joe in the street knew about the existence? Existence.
Yeah.
About the existence of demons, vampires, zombies, and the numerous times the world had come so close to ending. But it was long ago that Chip knew people, including himself, would always be too stupid to grasp a concept like the forces of good and evil.
I mean, you say that, but after,
No, it was a rhino that escaped from the zoo, remember? The Prime Minister didn't just suddenly disappear. They did just suddenly disappear.
Oh, yeah.
There were too many grey areas for people to get mixed up in, and that would just make the world more dangerous.
What are the grey areas about demons trying to destroy the world exactly? Well, they got a point. Although actually, like...
Yeah, come on. Considering the world we live in now...
Yeah, it's like there would be people who would be pro-demon.
Oh,
Be like,
yeah,
well, I mean, are they really that bad?
Yeah, all demon lives matter. Come on.
It sounds like... I know, I thought you were taking the piss out of Black Lives Matter there.
No, all lives matter.
Yeah.
Do you know me?
I know. That's why I was so confused. I was like, huh?
No. Thanks, man.
I know you're a racist.
He found a small flask at the bottom of the bag, along with a ball of rags that were held together by a few elastic bands. Chip poured the petrol inside the flask over the ball and fished a lighter from the inside pocket of his coat. His super cool coat. The ball of rags sat alight quite easy. Quite easy. Mm. Chip dropped it on the wooden doorframe of the warehouse, pushing his hood back up and turning his back on the location of his latest fight. His bruises stung, and he'd need a day or two before he was completely recovered, but Chip was okay about that.
Guaranteed he has a Zippo as well, for extra coolness.
Days didn't mean much to him anymore. They disappeared into each other along with the weeks and months. He'd guessed that somewhere around 3 months had passed since he'd first come to this country. Ooh, where is he?
Ah. I wonder where he could be.
And then a bit of time has passed since the events of, season 3. The warehouse was beginning to smoke as the fire grew, but not once did Chip look back. He just wanted to get home, or at least a place that he called home nowadays. Home being the land of hope and freedom, the United States of America, and more specifically, New York City.
It's like, well, Angel's in LA, so
I can't go there because we'll bump into each other all the
be
time,
embarrassing,
and we'll just compare coats. What is a city that's like LA with big buildings? I know. So Chip's in New York.
Yeah.
Hey. Chip had his reasons for choosing the Big Apple, but he liked to keep them to himself.
It's because he's not very original and he wanted to do what Angel did.
But don't tell anyone. As he walked back down the busy nighttime streets, he thought to himself that he seemed to fit in okay.
Did he? Did he really? Well, he's sort of running around in his big black coat, muttering about central heating.
Everyone in New York's got barley feet. Everyone pushed past one another, just trying to get to their own destination and refusing to care about the millions staving on the streets and everyone else's problems.
Because Chip, as he's demonstrated before, is so selfless with his views on the homeless.
Yeah, he hates it when people are staving on the streets. Chip could live with that. Complete peace and quiet for as long as he lived. Apart from the odd ninja battle with an evil fiend, Chip was alone and okay with that. As he made his way up to the second floor of his apartment block, he heard the familiar sound of a horde of sirens cruising down the road beside the tower. He'd given up any thoughts of trying to help the police. That was a domestic case and didn't involve a ninja. His apartment block was in one of those neighbourhoods where crime was like water. It ran freely and was a regular occurrence.
As long as there's not heated water.
Would you describe water as a regular occurrence? Oh, look, there's the water again.
Again,
yeah.
fucking hell.
Regular as clockwork. Chip lived here because it was cheap and pretty central to everything he needed, with a convenience store just around the corner and the subway just a block over. His apartment was small, just a one-bedroom with a living room, kitchen, including the bare necessities, and a bathroom and grotty-looking shower.
Also, you put bear as in bear,
Yeah.
so there's Baloo in there. Can you imagine what it would be like for Chip coming back all bruised and battered after a fight, and Baloo's there?
That would be so perfect.
The bare necessities,
You
like
better
long
believe
black
it.
coats.
Chip didn't have much in the way of possessions, except for a television that he didn't watch.
Because he doesn't like sitcoms with a laughter track.
The only reason he had one was because in this country, you didn't have to pay a license fee. That's it. But he doesn't watch it, so...
Oh, God.
So he's like, okay, there's no license fee. I'll buy a TV. I won't watch it, but, you know. As Chip pushed the key into his front door, he sensed something. A bit like a disturbance in the Force. Ninja
Original
Force.
as always.
Despite it being pitch black in the apartment, Chip knew there was someone lurking inside. It's Baloo! He walked slowly around the living room, suddenly stretching out and grabbing his guest, throwing him up against the nearest wall, and indivertibly switching the apartment lights on. Indivertibly.
You can't divert the switch? What? I don't know.
That's almost too much to figure out a reason.
Something about diverting water.
Which is a regular occurrence.
Yeah. Hey, call it, man, call it.
Chip studied the mystery man. He was smallish, with short hair, leather jacket over a green shirt and brown trousers. His face looked youthful, but a little worn. Chip put him down as mid to late 20s and a native of the city. His strong New York accent was hardly unnoticeable.
As you can tell from my go of it, like I was born and raised in the Bronx.
You've got barley feet, what? Sorry, Chip said. I guess I get a little cranky when people break into my place and sit in the dark waiting for me to come home.
And it's not Baloo.
It still might be Baloo. New York Baloo.
I take your point.
The stranger replied, brushing himself down and stepping away from the wall.
But trust me, this is going to be one of those moments that you'll talk about for years to come.
The day I threw a hobo out of my flat? Yeah, that's a real icebreaker. Again, Chip laying into the homeless.
He hates them so much.
What do you mean you just wanted shelter? I've got no central heating here. Get out.
You're awfully cocky for a guy who lives by himself in a crappy neighbourhood.
I'm just grateful.
What for? The fact you're alive? I guess after you survive a few apocalypses, you begin to think your luck is in, huh, Chip?
Your our luck is in.
Your our luck is...
That is such a weird...
confused me.
Chip, now a little more suspicious, said, "Who are you?"
A question I've asked myself a million times before, and one that can be answered over a few drinks.
It can't be answered over a few drinks.
It can't be.
So let's not go to a pub then. Let's start with a name.
Ridley.
He smiled. Right. So why are you here? And for the love of God, don't let it be anything to do with a prophecy. Chip's had enough of those, I think.
Prophecy.
None of it. None of it, please.
Yeah, I hear they can be a bastard.
Ridley sat down on Chip's sofa and pulled a small flask from his jacket pocket. After a long slurp, he offered Chip some, who declined.
You know that he's a streetwise sort of dude because he just drinks from a hip flask. That's what cool street guys do.
Ridley tucked the flask away again and continued.
But I wouldn't really know. No, my friend. I haven't been sent here on some secret mission that a higher power has insisted on. I'm here because of you.
Me? Chip said, now standing in front of Ridley.
You, pal. A ninja of the Ku Claw. Bread. There's the barley coming back again. He's got barley feet and wheat hands.
Maybe the Ku Claw is Kingsmill.
You, pal. A ninja of the Ku Claw. Bred to take on the evil of the world and to destroy it. Only, it didn't go exactly as planned.
Okay, now I won't to throw you out again.
He's saying he's not going to.
Yeah.
Because he's intrigued in what he has to say.
We're not having
to listen.
any drinks. We're going to talk about bread. Okay, now I won't to throw you out again. Chip slumped down in the armchair on the other side of the living room.
The truth hurts, doesn't it? Well, you had your problems. Who don't in this life? But you made the right choices in the end. You helped save the world, saved a baby, and decided to come over to this side of the Atlantic to help redeem yourself even further. Just one snag. You've isolated yourself in this palace.
I do my bit.
And no one's denying that fact. Except you.
Oh, I hate it when people talk in cryptic.
Fine, buddy. You need it spelling out for you? I'll do it. You've been in New York for what? A few months? You've killed demons, helped people out, and generally done good. But here's brain teaser contestant number 1.
What?
You're helping everyone, except yourself.
Chip stood up, walked to his front door and opened it.
Is this what New York therapists are like? They just show up in your house. They're like,
with a hip flask.
I'm hearing a lot of I shoulds.
Here's brain teaser contestant number 1. I guess it's meant to be a brain teaser contestant number 1. Because he's New Yorkian, he talks all like that.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Brain teaser.
Hey, I'm brain teasing here.
I'm going to pretend we're on a game show now, huh? Go ahead and write my autobiography if you like, but I know what happened and I don't need reminded.
Hey, I'm not the memory man.
What?
It's the New York memory man.
The memory man. You don't know the memory man?
It's one of those things, every proper New Yorker knows the memory man. You tell him things and he remembers them.
Brain teaser contestant number 1, memory man.
Yeah. You take him along to the shop, you're like, what did I need again? He goes, bread. Yeah, of course.
I've got the barley.
Hey, I'm not the memory man. I'm here to see how it ends.
Enough of this. You're here for a reason, and I want to know what it is. Who sent you?
I keep telling you, bud, I'm here of my own free will. Yeah, I know who you are, what you've done, and I want to see what happens next. You see, I'm no one. Just a bum who can scrounge a few bucks here and there. But I have connections. I know what happens in the parts of town that ordinary people don't want to know about. I think I can help you.
Chip thought for a moment. This Ridley guy had broken into his apartment, told him his life story, and now seemed to be offering his services. He didn't know if what he was saying was true, but he'd gotten a lot spot on so far.
What do you think?
Ridley said as he stood up. Chip grabbed Ridley from the scruff of the collar and dragged him towards the door. I don't think I need a psychic, Chip said.
Watch it, man. This ain't cheap.
You got it from Hot
I was
Topic
going
as
to
well.
say.
Chip threw Ridley out into the hallway and was just about to slam the door shut when Ridley said,
Fine. You don't believe me? Well, here's your proof, Sherlock. There's a girl. She's been targeted by some heavy demons, and they want her dead. Apparently, the hit's gonna take place tomorrow night, 7 p.m., outside the Bird.
What's a heavy demon?
He's fat-shaming the demons.
Not bothering to listen to another word this guy was saying, Chip swung the door shut. The clock on the wall said it was well into the early hours, and Chip was tired. The fight from earlier had taken its toll on him, and now painful memories of the past had been brought up. Sleep would not be easier to come by tonight, but he had to try.
Like how gloomy Chip is still not sleeping.
He doesn't sleep at all, does he? Oh, man. We're here, like in the first episode, and already we've ripped something straight from Angel.
Yeah.
This is Angel meeting Doyle for the first time, and it is almost exactly the same. To the point where I think Ridley is basically a New York version of Irish Doyle.
And even the intro, wasn't that the same as in the first episode?
Yeah.
There's a cool, moody bit of Angel killing some vampires or whatever.
Yeah, it's the most blatant rip-off I think we've ever had, because it's plagiarism. Like, it's not just sort of stealing some ideas, changing. I mean, I've changed a little bit, because Ridley's saying he wasn't sent by any higher power, whereas Doyle was.
That's where it's different. Look at how original you are.
If Ridley ends up having some sort of visions about people in trouble...
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Obviously I'm trying harder with the writing, but it seems like the harder I have to try to write, the more I steal.
You're trying harder with the prose.
Yeah.
Like the descriptions,
But not
and not
the
having
ideas.
typos. Yeah.
Yeah. And also the typos are still there. Very prevalent.
Bread feet.
The Bird was a club in the higher, more expensive part of town. It was filled with many yuppies who, after a long day at the office, liked to go watch girls take off their clothes for a little amount of money. The German dance track made it difficult to hear yourself think, and the brightly coloured flashing lights were blinding. Chip wasn't there for the entertainment. He wanted to see for himself what this Ridley character was talking about.
The entertainment, a sitcom with a laughter track. He hates those! He's there, God, this place is centrally heated. I hate it so much! There's water everywhere.
He'd been thinking about the strange conversation he'd had with the New York man and managed to find the Bird in a phone book. The phone book still exists? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, but only for old people.
Okay, good, right. Chip was pretty sure he stood out like a huge sore thumb on a person with no hands.
God. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Wait, what?
That's like something from Sonic High
It
School.
really is, isn't it? No, Sonic.
Chip said, go fast.
Chip was pretty sure he stood out like a huge sore thumb on a person with no hands, as everyone was either wearing a creased suit or a long grey overcoat.
Is that like a dress code? Yeah, sorry mate, your suit isn't creased enough. And that overcoat, it's cream,
black.
we only take grey overcoats.
I still don't get the sore thumb on a person with no hands. Chip had his black coat over a dark blue hoodie, black trousers and boots.
Doesn't it get warm with all the central heating?
He doesn't have central heating.
But in the club they do. It's why he hates it so much.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't go to these sorts of places, you see. In all honesty, Chip wasn't sure what he was looking for. All that he had been told was that a girl was in danger, and in a place like this, it would appear to be the norm. Each guy inside the bird seemed ready to snap if a girl said no to anything he was offering. Oh, it's an incel club. Yay! But Chip was on the lookout for demons, killer demons, at that who wanted this particular girl dead. Killer demons at that who wanted this...
He was on the lookout for demons. Killer demons at that who wanted this particular girl
missing
dead.
a comma.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's perfect writing. What are you talking about?
He scanned the small club again to check for any signs of demon activity. Satisfied there was none for the time being, he turned back towards the bar and took a swing of his beer.
Just a drinking. I would have thought that demons would kind of stand out, especially these heavy demons.
But maybe they're sort of demons that can hide in human form or something. Or maybe the yuppies are the demons all along. Their bank accounts are the heavy things. You know you're looking the wrong way, sailor, the barmaid said. Chip looked up and instantly noticed her beauty. Oh, God, I'm going to do that thing, aren't I? I'm going to do
beautiful.
the thing.
They didn't know she was beautiful.
Oh, I shouldn't be surprised.
And she had a personality, I guess. She was wearing some clothes or whatever.
Hey, at least I'm doing the thing all authors do. They're going to describe a woman because they have to in a physicality. Chip looked up and instantly noticed her beauty. She had medium-length, dark brown hair with red strips in it. Her upper body was behind a black tank top that revealed that she was tough and yet still very feminine.
Don't worry, guys. She's still hot.
Classic.
I know you're worried. She might be a bit butch, but it's fine.
And she had cool boobs.
Not as cool as Rouge's, obviously.
Guess I'm looking for the wrong thing. Chip replied, trying not to stare too much. A lot of guys are like that. That's why they come over here, because they get exactly what they're looking for. Lucky them.
I can't tell if she thinks that Chip is gay. Like, she sort of maybe starts flirting with him, like, oh, you're looking the wrong way, and it's like, I guess I'm looking for something else. Starts looking at a man.
That would be accurate, because that has happened to me on more than one occasion. Lucky them. You're not from around here, are you? Chip, realising that not only was he getting distracted from what he was supposed to be doing, but also he was borderline having a conversation. Oh, good. A Chip quip.
Look at all the typos.
Oh, God. Good guess, Billy Geen.
But it's like Bill Geen.
Oh, my God. Good guess, Bill Geen.
It's like a Weird Al cover of Billie Jean.
But what does Billie Jean mean in this scenario as well?
She's not his lover?
What is happening? Good guess, Bill Geen. Now how about another beer?
He hasn't finished swinging the first one yet.
He's got two hands. It was a double swing. Fine, sailor. Just don't choke on it. The woman smiled.
Cat, get back to work.
A greasy man shouted from the other side of the bar. Chip guessed he was the owner. Kat, the barmaid, left Chip with a sarcastic smile and went through a door and into the alley behind the bar. Still don't get the Billie Jean thing.
Bill Geen.
It's Bill Geen. Chip shook his head, wondering if he'd become a full-blown... No, that's not what it says. Chip shook his head, wondering if he'd become a full-flown arsehole just yet.
It's like an arsehole with wings.
Like a seagull.
Yeah.
They're full-flown arseholes. As he pulled the top of his second... I think it's meant to be off, isn't it? As he pulled the top of his second beer, he heard a scream coming from the alley out back. He seemingly was the other one to have heard it, as everyone else carried on as normal. Oh my God. He seemingly was the other one. God. What were you saying about typos being improved? Oh my God. Dropping his bottle, Chip jumped over the bar, band kicked the door open.
There's a band playing behind the bar.
And it kicked him out of the way to get to where he was going.
Fuck off, guitarist.
I've got to say, Bill Geen. Cat was being held down by 3 demons. Chip didn't break his stride, kicking the first demon he came to hard in the ribs. It flew away, landing on top of a large green rubbish bin. Chip grabbed one of the other demons and pulled it off Cat, but it was strong enough to whip round, forcing Chip into the brick wall of the narrow alley.
Well, it is a heavy demon.
It's true. He hit his head and slid down the wall. Chip was sure the girl was done for, but as he pushed himself to his feet, despite feeling very dizzy, he was shocked to see Cat fighting back. But she's a woman, how can she do such a thing?
That she was tough, but still feminine. Don't worry, she's hot. It's okay, it's okay.
She lashed out at the only demon on her, kicking its head and nipping up. She quickly followed that up with 2 more kicks before grabbing the demon by its thick neck and snapping it. The demon fell limp to the floor. The one that had thrown Chip grabbed Cat from behind and pinned her arms at her side. She threw her head back, headbutting the demon a couple of times before it released her. Cat unleashed a combination of punches, but each time the demon blocked them. Chip, his head starting to clear, gathered that particular demon was the leader of the bunch. He ran forwards, letting the knives he kept up the sleeves of his coat on a spring system out.
Because it's not like clubs have bouncers or anything.
But he concealed it up his long coat.
That's
so,
true.
You know, it wasn't weird that he was wearing his coat in his central heated bar.
Everyone else is wearing overcoats,
exactly,
so it does
yeah,
fit in.
Yeah. He buried the knife into the demon's side. It winced and swung round, its long arm extended. Chip ducked, bringing the knife back up under the demon's armpit and started to repeatedly stab it in the chest and face. Finally, the demon dropped to the floor in a pool of its own blood. Cat, on the other hand, was brawling with the last demon. Chip removed the knife from his wrist and threw it as hard as he could. The knife whistled past Cat's ear and pierced the demon's skull. "You idiot! That was close to hitting me!" she screamed. Close, but didn't. "So you make a habit of killing these things in alleys?" More than you would think. Chip pulled his knife out of the demon's head and placed it back into the spring system. I love the term spring system because
You didn't know what to call it.
No, I had no idea what it was.
There's a system with a spring in it. It's a spring system.
"You seem a little prepared for this sort of thing," Cat said, looking at Chip's weaponry.
Seem to have gotten more southern as well.
Yeah, I think
which
I
is fine. I mean, it's not like our accents stay put, after all.
Well,
I'm surprised that MC and Chip's voices have stayed consistent, to be honest.
I don't think they have.
Yeah.
I think if you went back and listened to the early episodes, I think they've probably changed a bit.
Yeah, probably.
But you know, Cat, she was trying to conceal where she was from when she was playing the barmaid, now it slipped.
I see.
Yeah, I'm just trying to turn into a rogue from X-Men, I think. "Did you know they were going to attack me tonight?" "I had a tip-off, yeah." "Any reason why 3 demons would want to kill you?" "None whatsoever. But I've got a good feeling as to who might have told them where I am." Cat stormed off, heading back towards the bar. "Who?" Chip asked, catching up. "My boss, Manny." "Why would he do that?" "I've only been working here a short while. All us barmaids are replaceable. I wonder how much they paid him."
You already said he was greasy and he was mean, so obviously he's the villain.
Yeah. Manny is such a good name for a greasy strip club owner as well. This isn't the first time this has happened, is it? Chip realised. Cat, looking a bit uncomfortable, continued to head to the bar. "Who cares? I'm going to kill him." "Wait!" Chip yelled, grabbing hold of Cat's arm. "Let go!" Cat struggled. Chip spun her around so she was facing him. The two looked at each other for a couple of seconds before leaning in to kiss one another. Oh dear.
Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. This isn't an angel thing.
No, I know, it's different.
My God.
Not original, but different. And clearly she doesn't think he's gay then.
Yeah,
or
true.
She knows now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted to kiss each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
All that pent-up emotion.
The aggression of the fight, the adrenaline's kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, is Manny just getting away at this point? The sunlight hurt Chip's eyes. It had been a while since he'd seen pure daylight, and it took him a few moments to get used to it. It's the most emo thing. When his eyes grew accustomed to the light, Chip started to remember the events of last night. He had found the club that Ridley had mentioned and saved the girl from trouble. I mean, to be fair, she pretty much did all right job on her own.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. I saved you. It was me.
Yeah.
Only the girl turned out to be a strong woman who had been more than capable of looking after herself.
How progressive of you. What a hero. My God.
Cat had come back with Chip last night, and they had spent the night together. Only now, in the morning, Chip was alone, Kat had left.
It's probably a bit cold without any central heating.
It's like, why have you got TV if you don't watch it? Chip didn't think anything had been wrong last night. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Is it my small penis? What is it? Chip didn't think anything had been wrong last night. They both seemed to enjoy it, which had surprised Chip. He's really...
Was it the crying I did afterwards? Was it because instead of sleeping in the bed, I just sort of crouched against the wall and brooded?
Is it because
was it because I had a condom and a spring system at the rest?
He just fires it off, it immediately lands on his penis. Since moving to New York, that was the closest he had felt to anyone. In fact, Chip hadn't felt a connection in a very long time. He guessed Kat wasn't the type of woman that stayed around for breakfast in bed the next day. It was probably for the best. Chip couldn't be doing with a relationship right now, especially with a girl he didn't know anything about. He stepped into the shower, wondering where Kat was now. And that's where we're going to leave part 1 of Companionship. Well, what did we make to the pilot episode of Chip?
I'm just glad it's still really dumb. I was worried that... I was worried that... Not that it would be good, but I was worried that there would be fewer typos and there'd be less things to riff off, but there is a wealth of things to take the piss out of. And we still have barley feed and... all that
central
stuff.
Heating. I feel like the central heating thing is going to be around for a long time.
So dark brooding Chip, just for a change.
Off on his own.
Yeah, and now we don't even have dickhead MC to lighten the mood a bit.
At least there's not going to be a time where someone comes up to Chip and was like, "I wish you died. I wish you were dead. I'm going to kill you. Why aren't you dead, you bastard?" Ridley will come back and be like, "I wish you were fucking dead." We had some blatant Angel rip-off at the start.
God, yeah.
But hopefully it went off slightly in its own direction.
Yeah.
Angel didn't have sex in the first episode,
so
suck that, Joss Whedon.
Chip didn't turn evil after he had sex, probably.
Not that we know of, no.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple of new characters as well.
We do, and I'm going to be interested to see how the accents evolve.
What do you mean we're saying we can't do American accents? Did you not hear my scoot voice? But that's one of the things I was kind of looking forward to, actually, is because obviously with the split now between Chip and MC in the game, new characters, some sort of new stories in quotation marks.
Recycled.
Yeah, different things that could happen.
Yeah.
Different voices.
Oh, God.
And different adventures. Chip's in New York. Being broody on his own.
Oh, bless him. Yeah.
And I'm quite interested to see what happens with Ridley, how much of a Doyle he'll actually be, and what's with Kat. Like she must have some sort of past. Like she's working in a bar, but she can clearly handle herself, and she wasn't surprised when demons attacked her.
Yeah, so maybe she's a demon vigilante herself.
Ooh, maybe. What if she's a ninja of the Ku Klux? What if she's MC's
but girls are
baby?
Ninjas?
Maybe she's possessed by a male ninja.
Oh, okay.
That's how it happens.
That makes sense, sure.
That's interesting, actually, because obviously when we started this, we had 4 original ninjas in Chip, MC, Jack and Lee, and they were all men. So, do you think there's ever been a woman ninja?
What happened to the graduating class of 94 or whatever it was, like the one before?
Oh my God.
MC and Chip.
They all went evil and had to die. Maybe if they actually chose some woman ninjas, they wouldn't go evil. Maybe that's what needs to happen.
What if you wind up getting like a Maggie Thatcher ninja? If you get killed by vampires, you deserve it. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and save yourself.
Can you imagine if Margaret Thatcher had ninja powers?
Oh God, what the hell is this?
Oh my God, that is an alternative. She should have been a villain in the Tomuarigassen.
She's too powerful.
Well, so with our new format then, so we're going to do Chip Part 1 this week, and we're also going to do the first episode of Season 4 of Tomuarigassen this week as well, and then Part 2s will follow next week. So next Monday, Part 2 of this story. And as ever, MC, if you have any ideas about what's going to happen to Chip in New York and which Angel storylines I'm going to steal from, there are numerous ways in which you can get in touch. You can find us at Facebook. We're at facebook.com/howiRippedOffPodcast.
And you can send us some tweets on Twitter at How I Ripped Off.
And you can find our entire back catalogue on SoundCloud, iTunes and YouTube. But interestingly, not Stitcher Radio, I've discovered.
Really?
Because apparently there's only like 7 episodes on there, and I don't know why.
It's not like we've been saying it for the past 2 fucking years or whatever it is.
Well, clearly anyone listening doesn't follow us on Stitcher Radio, because they would have been like, why is there only 7 episodes?
Somebody listen to this right now and go, damn it, I only listen to Stitcher Radio.
But that's something I'll try and fix, so we can actually keep saying that.
And also, if you want to leave a rating or review, I don't know why I say rating review, just a rating, just a review, rating and review, all of those things. Don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I don't know.
Bread feet. Of Chip Episode 1, or Tomuarigassen, or Sonic High School, or all of them at once, we would really, really appreciate it.
And not to mention that it helps us enormously as well.
It does indeed.
And then we can finally afford some central heating, a TV licence, and some feet that aren't made of barley.